лет прошло, томительных и скучных, и вот в тиши ночной твой голос слышу вновь.
Those of us Russians born in Leningrad and raised amidst the imagery of the former imperial capital are perhaps particularly inclined to take our surroundings for a fantasy, an illusion, a play of the imagination. We love Russia as an image. As an image, it should be portable wherever we go. As a Russian living in the West, I ask the question, can an émigré carry his homeland with him? Is Russia really portable? Russians helped bring Mars and Venus closer to mankind. Yet America, a nation we share Earth with, is like Mars for us. For Jeff Ostrovsky, it is a planet he is happy to colonize. Jeff, who is 27, was born in Kiev but has lived in New York for 10 years. He is a successful, self-made businessman. Jeff is not alone. Some quarters of New York are more Russian than American.
Good morning, Nelson.
How are you?
I'm okay.
Great.
How are you?
Sir, I'm doing okay.
Okay, and what's happening, Nelson?
Well, we are experiencing a small complication in reference to our sales help. You know, as an example, people are making appointments, and to some degree, the appointments are not being kept by the client.
Okay, Nelson, whose responsibility it is to know how many people coming? Yours?
Overall, it is my responsibility. However, it's also Lenora's and Paul's responsibility also.
Okay.
But overall,
Do not fuck up, Nelson. Don't fuck up.
Okay, sir.
Let me talk to Gregory now.
Hold on, sir.
Fine.
Привет, начальству.
Привет, Гришенька.
Как дела?
Отлично, не кричи так, пожалуйста, у меня ухо лопается. Гришенька, слушай меня. Там большая неприятность с селами. Я не знаю, что этот, блядь, Нелсон делает. Надо с ним позаниматься чуть-чуть. 162 села за вечер, это что ты понимаешь, на 20% ниже, чем в той неделе. Ну и это не шутки. Educated people are basically the same all over the world, except there is one difference. When you're coming from the Soviet Union, you're more or less starving for the freedom and for the opportunities that the United States of America is offering. And if you're starting something, for example, like a business, it just means that you're going to be trying harder. I believe that most of the Soviet emigres are very successful in this country. Of course, there are some people who are not successful. One of the reasons possibly is inability to adjust. Even though that most people came to this country for higher reasons, for the reason of freedom, there are some people who came strictly for financial reasons, and those are the people who believe that there is gold on the streets in America. This is the group which basically has failed.
Amid the squalor that so disturbs any immigrant to New York, a Russian is likely to cling to the idea that his background somehow safeguards him in this hostile world.
This is our membership, American Shop at Home membership kit. 1 year memberships to American Shop at Home sells for $195. What do people get for $195? Select coupon program offers over 2,000 different brand name products for our members to choose from. If our member ordered $60 worth of coupons,
it is typical for a Russian to attribute a spiritual dimension to whatever he does, even to business.
if you take, for example, even the concept of American Shop at Home, catalogs, items at half price, discounts everywhere, guaranteed lowest prices, hotels at half price. I believe that this translates part of me into the people. I believe in God, believe in myself, and combination, of course, of my belief in people, in myself, and in God. This is something which makes me successful. Since you don't have any more questions, Paul, going to show you right now some of the tools which we assembled to help you in your sales career. Paul, please.
Okay, to get started, what I'd like to do is show you our celebrity endorsed tape that will give you a fine introduction when you go into the home to show the people the
Jeff has found his salvation in his rapidly expanding discount club, American Shop at Home.
Lights.
A 100 miles into upstate New York is a world very different from Jeff's. Siberian-born Raisa Malchevsky lives here with her husband and 3 children. They came to America 7 years ago, and after a period in New York City, escaped to this country idyll. This is a Russian Orthodox monastery, which was built 100 years ago by an earlier wave of Russian immigrants. Nowadays, only few monks survive, so a number of Orthodox families are allowed to make their homes here. It has thus turned into a monastery for families, as it were, into a tiny Russian island in the middle of rural America. In Russia, Sergei Malchevsky was a Red Army officer. In America, he is a carpenter, building a villa for a millionaires. Sergei opposes the October Revolution as if it happened 1, not 70 years ago. Back home, he was charged with plotting to blow up Lenin's mausoleum.
I was put in prison as anti-Soviet propagandist and agitator, 7 years concentration camps and 3 years exile in the northern part of Russia.
Как закат весенний в мае, щеки девичьи горят. Да чего ж к лицу бывает белый свадебный наряд.
America. What would it be if one couldn't get on the highway and step on the gas? The limitless space and verdant landscape remind Raisa of Siberia. The wide freeways and the big automobiles do not. Raisa works as a cleaning lady at a local hotel. The Malchevskys do not embrace everything American. What they do and what they earn is not so important to them as the less tangible things in life.
In our country, you can have many friends. Here, everybody is your friend who say you hello and goodbye. You cannot be too close with people here. Well, I do not know why, but that's really hard. Like in my hotel, everybody say me hello, my friends, but I'm not friend to him or to her. But I have very good attitude to me from everyone, and I feel they respect me too.
I have almost everything I need now. I have a home, 2, 3 cars, and I got a job, and I have a Russian community, but I have no land, my native land under my feet. I like America as a stranger, but I could never love this country as American, for I am Russian, and I would like to educate and treat my children as natural Russian.
Дети, вот лучше послушайте, я вам сейчас прочту что-нибудь из русских поэтов. Хорошо, Саша? Вместо того, чтобы ссориться и кричать, на берегу пустынных волн стоял он, дум великих полн, и вдаль глядел. Пред ним широко река неслась, бедный челн по ней стремился одиноко. По мшистым топким берегам чернели избы здесь и там, приют убогого чухонца. И лес неведомый лучам в тумане спрятанного солнца кругом шумел. И думал он, отсель грозить мы будем шведу. Здесь будет город заложен назло надменному соседу. Природой здесь нам суждено в Европу прорубить окно. Помолчи, пожалуйста.
Something Sergei found difficult to express in English, he told me in Russian. He said, I knew that I would feel homesick. But to be honest with you, I could never imagine that homesickness would be so intense. Despite the fact that I have a family and I'm surrounded by other Russians, I never thought that it would be possible to be so alone in a foreign land.
They aren't even Marxists. They are Leninists. They believe deeply in the vanguard of the party. These are the words that Vladimir Ilyich Lenin used in 1917 and in 1918 when he was taking charge.
Nothing is perfect in this world. And in Soviet Union, a lot of bad things. In America too. You know, for everybody, their own country is much warmer, in spite of any evil which is going on inside of it, you know, communists, Bolsheviks, KGB, and so on. And if I was thinking about my coming back to Russia, I just had a choice between 2 evils, which is less. In Russia, is less.
They neatly sidestep the issue, and it's a very clever use of the dialectic. They don't come out and advocate.
In a small apartment in the New York borough of Queens, another family of Soviet exiles are planning to do something very radical. Igor Sinyavin plans to re-immigrate to the Soviet Union. Igor was one of the young Soviet artists who were in conflict with the authorities during the Brezhnev era over the style of their work and their right to exhibit it. In those days, anyone who was into abstract art was a political opponent.
My choices were either to be sent to prison or to leave the country. But a deeper reason was, from my childhood, I have dreamt of seeing beyond the wall that separates us from the rest of the world, to learn more and understand more, and to find out the meaning of freedom and democracy, and discover whether they were relevant to myself and to my country.
In America, new experiences and thoughts compelled Igor to write, but his obstinately independent stand made him unpopular with conservative émigré circles. He found that he had to express himself in the same unofficial, samizdat way he had back in the Soviet Union.
Freedom lured many people into leaving Russia, and some of them believe they have found it in the West. But I think the purest definition of freedom has been given by Christ. Learn what is true, and you will be free.
In Russia, Igor was a freedom fighter. In America, he became disillusioned with freedom and found a new faith, his Russianness. Igor's two children were 4 and 6 when the family emigrated to America. Although both of them speak English more fluently than Russian, they were brought up in a strictly Russian atmosphere. The Sinyavins wanted to wait for their son Igor to finish high school before returning to Russia, but they sent their daughter Olga ahead to stay with her grandparents. In her long letters home, 15-year-old Olga tells her family about the joys and difficulties of her first steps as a Soviet schoolgirl. A faithful follower of his father's views, young Igor is ready for a step which in his case may mean one from American high school straight into the Red Army. For the Sinyavins, their family is the model of the society they would like to live in. In their small apartment, they live as in a fortress, besieged by the American ways they find so threatening. Tatiana Sinyavin is the one who had to put down the drawbridge and foray into American society.
In the beginning, I didn't like New York. People come to New York from all over the world just to make money. They don't treasure anything else. Maybe because it's not one nation. It's hundreds of different nations, and nobody really cares what is going on around. And late I found it beautiful. Strange, but it's true. Discovered something for myself.
And the phone number is 601-1500. Yes, yes. And she said we're supposed to call and let them know you're going to cash checks. She's from Chemical Bank.
I found it difficult to find a job in my field, to teach Russian literature or Russian language. So I decided to change, and I finished business school, trained myself to do payroll.
We have to send this lady to pay right now.
I make 25,000 a year, which is not very good and not very bad. Payroll master is not a very interesting job, but there's a lot of contact with other people. As usual, American business offices very busy. In Russia, I would find it easier, not under that stress constantly, like in the United States. Well, you can find the time to go and take a cup of coffee, but you constantly have to keep in mind you're here just to do your job. That's why you're paid for.
In Russia, we were not poor. Whatever your standard of living there, the next day is always guaranteed. We had the leisure to entertain our flippant ideas. In America, I took any job available. Hard physical labor made me lose my taste for the frivolous in art and life and helped me overcome the Russian intellectual's tendency, so well described by Dostoevsky and Chekhov, to negate. America has taught us to fight to the death every day to survive. If I hadn't worked hard, our children would have had to go to the nearest school, and I can't imagine what would have happened to them there. I'm grateful to America for this lesson. That doesn't mean I want my children to become American.
Well, you can choose one of two things. You can either turn into an American, and if you do that, you have to forget your Russian past. Or you can retain your background, but to do that, you have to limit yourself in many things. You have to be more conservative, I guess. That's what I did.
Tanya, love.
Yes.
We're gonna miss you, but we wish you
Definitely.
lots
All the
and
best.
lots of blessings,
Lots of
Tanya.
happy birthday.
God bless you. You and your family.
Yes.
I love you too.
How you say in Russian?
What do you have in your name?
Good luck in Russian.
Счастливо.
It was interesting for me to understand the way they live, Americans. In an office where most women, you become very comfortable, and I found that women behave the same way everywhere.
Carrot cake.
She would like a carrot cake.
One carrot cake, of course.
Pineapple.
You want some strawberries with it? They're delicious
Pineapple.
strawberries.
Oh, with the piece of one.
Two coffees.
Yeah.
Are you going to be considered like
One teacup.
a normal, like, everyday American Russian citizen? American Russian citizen, or are you going to have like any privileges?
Why? What kind of privileges?
I don't know,
expect anything.
Well, they
No,
don't.
just a
They
normal
don't let people in and out all the time, do they?
In and out. What do you mean in and out?
We want to leave. We'll go to America. Now we're going to come back, and you know.
So it looks like now, yes, it's much easier to get out from country. But I don't
Not like
plan.
this.
I plan just to leave.
But it's going to be a lot different, isn't it? Like
Yeah,
everything's
I
going to be a
guess
lot
so,
more.
It is. So I prepared for that. I think so.
So you're going to stock up on your toilet paper over here and your.
I guess. I'll take a lot with me.
Don't worry, send home. We'll send you boxes of.
Oh, so heavy.
Let's see.
Open
a lot of tape.
I should not this wonderful book.
Yeah.
Oh, don't destroy that.
No, we won't destroy that.
I never had difficulties with American people. I made a lot of friends, and I found them very nice, very friendly, and I will miss them.
Pretty.
The shower curtains in there.
Everything. Oh my God, the same. Matching. Set the matching.
A coordinated bathroom. That's beautiful.
Now
you have to open this.
Show them one.
That's very nice.
It's for show, not for use.
Not for you.
We're leaving now.
Yeah.
Скажи,
We're going back to Russia.
Скажи, что больше не вернемся обратно в Россию.
We're not coming back anymore. No. Have good luck. The last time we see you, all right?
Ну, пусть передать своим там всем ребятам, что здесь.
Tell us goodbye to the rest of these guys here.
У меня проблем с ними не было
All right,
никогда.
have a nice trip. Take it
Thanks.
easy. See you, okay? Take it easy.
Some of my friends say, why don't you send the children to Russia? Let them to study in Russia, but stay here and make money, and then you will find your life easier. That's a typical American point of view. Make money and your life will be easier. You can survive in that world without money. If you're in trouble, if you're sick, without money, you are nothing. It's not like in Russia. We always say, don't have 100 rubles, have 100 francs. In United States, you have to say, no, I better have $100 than 100 francs.
The freedom to make money has its inevitable spillover, crime. Tatiana, who has herself been mugged, encounters yet another example of it. A gold chain is ripped off a woman's neck in front of her very eyes.
In New York City, you always can expect anything really terrible can happen to you. I'm used to it, unfortunately.
Hi. My name is Jim Arcuri. I'm here to see Jeff Ostrowski.
Just take a seat.
I'm from Michaelsburg Firearms.
Sir, this is Mr. Arcuri from Michaelsburg Firearms.
Fantastic.
Jeff, how do you
James.
do? Nice to meet you.
Sit down, please.
Thank
This
you.
is Gregory.
Greg.
Hi. All right, nice meeting you.
Have a seat.
Thanks. James, how can we work together with firearms?
I've heard a lot about your organization. We'd like to get involved with it. Our club, Michael Britt Firearms, is chartered by the National Rifle Association as a gun club. We offer the best instruction in school, courses for gun instruction, firearm safety courses, combat courses, self-defense courses. We have fabulous discounts on every type of merchandise that the store sells. And we could work, I think, hand in hand.
Can you show us maybe you have some
I'll
guns
show
or
you
something
some.
like this?
Absolutely. I brought some toys. This, you should have this in your catalog. This is the American Shop at Home Uzi.
Dream, yeah? Remember? Wow.
This will get you anything at a big discount. This is just a Uzi. This is a standard 9mm.
Wow.
Rapid fire carbine. And you could, this is the gun of the world. Yeah, you take a look at it. It's not loaded.
Yeah, this
Brand
is
new from the
basically
box.
This is for the defense, right?
That's
defense
strictly
only. Defense.
Defense. You don't want to hunt. It looks like he defended himself.
Yeah, I
right with
exercise
this.
every morning before breakfast. Ah, it's unsafe.
Yeah, it's unsafe. Yeah, I have a few other goodies too. This is a 357 Magnum.
Wow.
This is what the special agents carry, mostly with the FBI,
Why it's so heavy?
Secret Service. That's just to show you the revolver. I have another piece here to show you too.
Basically, I think it's very important to be satisfied with yourself. If it's the last day of your life, you can look in the mirror and say, I did all that I wanted to do, or I did all that I could do. I gave it the best shot.
So we instruct you how to use and handle a handgun properly, whether it be 9mm or the 357 size. I give you some information in Russian.
Wow, that's nice.
I come prepared.
And you have plenty of such guns in your store?
Thousands.
Thousands.
During the 7 years my staying in America, I understand, first of all, too much freedom, it's very bad for all humanity. For Western people, the freedom is absolutely different than for Russians. I remember my imprisonment period I had my own inside world, spiritual world, religion world. I was freedom.
American freedom failed to impress Sergei. He came to the conclusion that freedom can only be found in one's spirit. He might then just as well be in Russia, were it not for the communism that, it's told, invades the individual's spirit.
What he has told us today, that people today, they live by material world. He told us about the communism. The communism is striving to bring the ideology of materialism and humanism to whole the world, and ecumenism. They fully support the idea of having diluted faith, for they know without the truth there can be no grace of God. And His grace, it told us about the great sorrow that befalls all of us, that we don't have enough love, that the people do not have enough love, and the spirit of pride has taken over. And so Vladika is asking us to be serious about our spiritual life. And let us pray hard so that we will be able to stop the threat of the war. Amen.
God
God help you. we're going to sing the eternal memory to His Eminence, that has passed away yesterday, and to the eternal kingdom.
О блаженному спине вечный покой, дашь, Господи, лучшему рабу Твоему, новоприставленному архиепископу Серафиму, и сотвори ему вечную память,
In the heart of America, these people believe they're preserving a Russia untouched by the last 70 years. But is the Russia they pray for still alive?
It's painful with my heart to see my children gradually become American.
Да как нравится.
We never applied before, but our friends applied for permission to go back so many times, year after year, and it wasn't possible. Just rejection without any explanation. And only last year in autumn, people started going back.
Нужно принимать, сказать, Советский Союз таким, каким он есть. Не нужно для себя строить иллюзии, потому что, естественно, что условия жизни здесь и там разные. Потому что у нас есть и жилищные проблемы, и определенный дефицит есть. Я не буду говорить, сказать, по предыстории, можно все свести и, сказать, к системе, как здесь любят. Но тем не менее нужно брать и во внимание такие факты, как историю страны. Нам 70 лет Советскому Союзу. Ну, в общем-то, что я вам объясняю, вы сами эти прекрасно знаете. Эта страна 200 лет без войн, по сути дела. В год на дорогах гибнет больше, чем в Вьетнамской войне погибло. Но, тем не менее, Вьетнам оказал такое воздействие на Америку.
Да, это все верно, только вот как это нам 70 лет?
Да, нам не 70 лет.
Нам 1000 лет.
Нет, все так. Я имею в виду, прежде всего, экономическую систему, экономическую структуру. Ведь потому что в данном случае, когда спор идет между двумя странами, сказать, тут говорят о двух системах. Ну ладно, давайте мы не будем вдаваться в такие политические дискуссии.
Нет, это не политические. Давайте.
Я хочу вам вручить свидетельство на возвращение в Советский Союз. Это ваш основной документ и на возвращение, и на первое пребывание в Советском Союзе. Хочу вас поздравить с окончательным решением вашего вопроса. Ну и пожелать вам успехов.
Спасибо.
И в работе, и в жизни.
Another Russian emigre advised me to get a rope because I will want to hang myself when I am back in Russia, and I may not be able to buy one there.
И вот ваша справка, которую вы давали, возьмите ее с собой.
А какая справка? О, врача.
Да.
Это важно.
Well, will I regret it?
Ну, жизнь сложна, тут голову на отсечение не дашь.
Life is complicated, so I can't guarantee anything. But even if I do regret it, I will not come back to America. These things one doesn't do twice.
Дважды.
Of course, I will miss the abundance you find in America, but, you know, the happiest time of my life was when I had one room and lived on potatoes and onions. I have a family now, but some austerity will do my children no harm. Shortages can be good for the soul. Why not live somewhere between starving Africa and wealthy America?
How many shots? Basically, shots for our success, for health, happiness, and lots of money. And lots of money. For everybody. God bless you.
People who are basically lazy or live by means which are considered to be unnormal describe themselves as intelligentsia. This is an excuse for the people who do not work. This is something which they use to separate themselves from the world, for the world to see them as something else.
Посмотри последний заказ.
Accounting in Russia, compared with the United States, it's not traditionally paid very well. And approximately it will be paid 120 rubles a month.
That's what I like about the United States. They have fancy things. I know that I'll leave all the advanced technology behind and the easier lifestyle, cars and abundant food, clothing, things like that. Life in the United States is easier in economic sense. I'm very used to it, having everything available to me, every day. In the Soviet Union, they have problems with that. But that doesn't change my opinion about returning to Russia.
Ты вот хотела куртку или что-то посмотреть?
Русский большевик. Майор, русский майор. Он с Сталином был товарищ.
Почему же он находится?
Нам куртку надо посмотреть.
Думаю, что я работаю в НКВД.
Эй, товарищ майор!
Товарищ майор.
Боится?
Боится, да.
Ну ему, наверное, попало.
Он думает, что сейчас Сталин живет.
Он боится, у него там сын в России, чтобы там сына не посадили.
А за что
За что же его посадили?
Я не знаю, я знаю, черт его не знаю, за что. В России можно посадить ни за что, ни за чего тоже.
У вас нет такой куртки для леса куда-нибудь?
Что?
Ну такая, как рабочая куртка.
Что, кожаную?
Чтобы его не взяли на
Кожаную.
Правильно?
Запуганный такой.
Он был.
Нет,
Сидел, да?
типа
КГБ? Не КГБ?
Сталинграда.
Сталинград. В Сталинграде майором, а тут торгует одеждой. Ну, не бывает. Из Советского Союза. Ну, иммигрант. А сейчас возвращаются обратно.
Куда? Советский Союз. Ага, иммигрант.
Ну да, а сейчас нет, не еду, а возвращаюсь.
Не приедешь больше?
Почему? На родину надо.
За Горбачева идет, да? Горбачев хороший человек.
А твой где магазинчик?
Да.
Никогда не будет жить. Никогда.
Да хоть здесь в сотню раз лучше, а там в сотню раз хуже. Все равно поеду. Не в этом дело.
Что там хорошего, кроме лагерей?
А что, вы всю жизнь в лагерях работали?
Не всю жизнь. Родился я в 19-м, прошел всю войну на фронте. Потом дал 10 лет, отсидел до 55-го. И хорошо, что уехал. Вот я уже 15 лет здесь, я знаю, что я живу.
Ну не все же лагерь. Вы говорите, все сплошные лагеря.
Когда ты жить там нет.
Ну и я жил, я же
Возьми
не жил в лагерях.
от Вологды до Воркуты туда дальше. Сплошные лагеря. А те, что живут там, вышедшие, отсидели ни за что и выпустили. И
все,
там же остались.
Все преувеличение.
See, I don't know the kind of life that exists in Russia, in everyday life. I was only 6 when I left. And I just hear, people's opinions. And I have to see for myself.
I like New York, and I'm gonna miss New York.
А как же не собрано? А? Как не собрано? А когда же ты будешь собирать? Как завтра? Завтра же папа.
Я знаю, но, наверное, завтра утром. Я не знаю даже. Это же думаю.
А билет уже точно на завтра? Да. На сколько самолетов летаешь?
Мамочка, я ничего не соображаю сейчас. Я ничего не соображаю, как-то все. О, Рой. Привет.
Здравствуйте. Вот еще женщина.
I think he's the best mind
Мы, Россия, это русские, это мы не можем не держать, тот русский человек не может. Это просто, знаете, что нельзя ставить Россию или русского человека в исключительное положение. Китаец может быть в эмиграции, армянин может быть, а русский не может быть. Это, я думаю, своего рода, знаете, похвальство.
Где что-то водка, да?
Вы не приехали сюда за богатством, вы не приехали сюда в поисках легкой жизни. Вы просто вынуждены были уйти. Жаль, что наша страна прошел через этот период, когда некоторые были в конфликте и не могли этот конфликт выразить иначе, кроме как порвать. Вот вы это прошли.
Счастливо.
Да.
За ваше счастье, за ваших детей.
Желаем, что теперь в нашей стране будет так, что как мы хотим, чтобы она была.
А Игорь Иванович, как ты
хорошо, да, люди. И вы там
Когда приехали,
Говорит про пройденный путь и как будто любуется шлюпкой, а сам пристально смотрит на грудь и на ножки под серенькой юбкой. Ты, моряк, не горюй, не грусти, не зови ты на помощь на 200.
Oh no, don't mention that. Oh Marie, I will, I promise. Yes, yes.
Ты, моряк, не горюй, не грусти, не зови ты на помощь на 200. Это мисс из богатой семьи.
Oh Marie, dear, don't cry. You make me cry constantly.
Давай. На белом канале толкает тачку, тюкает кайлой, а фраера вдвойне богаче стали. Кому же взяться опытной рукой?
И все. Ты присядь сейчас. Помолчи. С сумками, а не с людьми имеешь дело.
Что надо было пораньше приехать. Ну сейчас он как 7:40. Когда рейс, Танечка? Рейс. Зеленая дорога вам была. Чтобы
Исполнение всех желаний. Все, исполнение всех желаний. Чтобы были здоровы, самое главное.
Ну, Галюша, ты больше здесь уже не будешь никогда. Что ты чувствуешь?
Почему не будет никогда? Может, и будет. Что?
В чем я сомневаюсь?
Ну, а почему? Что же, не проснуться?
I feel I'm going home, so it doesn't matter what is waiting for me. Maybe it will be difficult in the beginning and I prepare myself, but it's like a relief. I'm coming home.
Sheremetyevo International Airport in Moscow. Igor Sinyavin is a star, at least for today. For daughter Olga, he's the dad she hasn't seen for 6 months.
Там они все мне просто...
Почему вернулся? Уезжали мы, борьба за свободу творчества и прочее. И очень много пришлось переоценить, живя на Западе. Поняли мы главное, что наша земля – это великая страна, которая несет свет миру, что жить вне Родины нам невозможно. И при первой же возможности, как только у нас она появилась, мы вернулись сюда.
Не боитесь ли, что через несколько лет вы снова разочаруетесь в жизни в Советском Союзе, и вам снова захочется на Запад?
Вы знаете, я психологию вечного диссидента или вечного отрицания, который видит только одни плохие стороны, уже изжил.
felt very guilty that I left my parents alone for so many years. And I was thinking what I can do to help them, to do something very good for them. I just forgot about everything else, just my parents and my daughter. I don't know why, but it looks like something very big and empty. I don't know why, but empty. Big streets, wide streets. I didn't like it in the first moment.
The sad irony for the Sinyavins is that, as they have no home yet in Moscow, they must spend the next few weeks in a hotel, while Olga and her grandparents will need to return to their home in Moldavia.
Ходи. Ух ты. Сюда, что ли? Вид на Василия Блаженного. Смотри-ка, Танюша. Василий.
Чудесный.
Ну что, посмотрим телевизор?
Нет,
Как тут гласность? Чего ты смеешься?
Да так.
Что-то не включается. Слушай, как тут? Кнопок много, не поймешь. Это что-то такое.
I didn't see people in the beginning, only streets. I just didn't pay attention, perhaps. Now, I don't pay attention on the streets. I just see people around me. I was looking back constantly. Why is they speak Russian around me? That's strange. And then I felt very comfortable. That's my home. That's why they speak Russian around me.
Брожу по городу один, вдоль шумных улиц и витрин, в толпе людей в вечерний час, в кружении лиц, мерцании глаз. Где же ты? Не знаю. Где же ты? Так эхо повторяю. Где же ты? Несется с высоты. Где же ты? Где
гляжу в себя, становится трудней мне отпускать бессовестные шутки, не вижу проку от своих идей. Сказать, что ошибаюсь, будет жутко. Я маюсь исповедаться в грехах. Кому? Кто хочет исповеди слушать? Я уношу свободу на руках, но не смогу я унести так душу. Пробьет мой...
Throughout our history, the spoken word has had such power that tyrants have regarded it as a threat. A scene like this in the heart of Moscow, the reading of uncensored poetry to an impromptu crowd, could never have happened a few years ago.
Голос наркоманы и проститутки. Я ваш рупор, блюдолизы и ублюдки, я всей мрази и грязи глашатый. Эй, наверху, приглашайте меня наверх. Я нагло брошу, вам в рожу, всю слякоть, всю похость, всю пакость и гадость, всю нашу душу гнилую.
I think it should be forbidden. I'm not against giving young people freedom. I'm just against letting some hooligans waste their time and waste other people's time.
Чтобы публику немножко развеселить, такую более актуальную вещь. Баллада о спиде. Нам эту заразу в Европу ввезли, как кофе или табак. Американские корабли, вздернув пижамный флаг, газеты статьями наводнены. Внимание, опасность, спид. По наущению сатаны город спокойно спит.
Вы говорили о новых принципах. В чем они заключаются, если можно их кратко сформулировать?
Новые принципы в поэзии – это, во-первых, энергия стиха, которая заключается в каждой строчке, в каждом, допустим, произведении нашем новом. И густота мысли, густота чувства. В последнее время очень мало на страницах журнала газет встречается.
Glasnost has created a significant change. People have been able to give vent to many things that before had to be painfully suppressed. Therefore, the bitterness has gone. But in my opinion, there is a danger of being negative for the sake of it.
I was prepared. It would be completely different compared with the United States. That I can expect to find myself in the big lines to buy food or clothes. I expected that. But I was a little bit shocked what I found. At first time when I went to the department store, I found it like a warehouse, but that was a department store. Very poor selection, and it looks like people are used to this situation. They don't argue, they just take what they see. Compared with Western countries, Russian people, they're more patient, they're more kind. They deserve much more than they have. I found that my life here will be more difficult in terms of buying food and clothes. But I will accustom. If other people live this way, probably I will be able to do the same. Life is richer in the United States, but there is something missing over there, what I can find here. I cannot explain what exactly, but I feel more calm. I feel I'm home.
This is Leningrad, or as many of us still call it, St. Petersburg. Here, my mind, my soul, my dreams were formed. I must visit my old friends to see what has happened to them. Do they still question? Have they still kept their spark? Or have they turned into alcoholics and losers? Some of my friends have moved, some vanished. I realized that I am not welcome everywhere. Leningrad is my home, but it also represents the part of my life which is painful to remember. It is impossible to forget it, even if I wanted to. Some people in this city consider me a traitor for having left in the first place. Others think I have betrayed the cause of freedom by coming back.
Он вернулся совсем другим, правоверным реалистом. Этого невозможно понять. Это перерождение. Как верующий и неверующий.
Ну хорошо, а если взять социальную теорию, значит, свобода только внутри. Свобода только внутри. Как соотнести с той несвободой общественной, которую ты там ощутил? Ведь свобода-то внутри. Мы здесь же, несмотря на то, что было время тяжелое, время застоя, но мы как бы ощущали это внутреннюю свободу. Да, не ощущал, значит, свободу это внутренняя.
Подожди, слово «родина» это все время муссировать. Не надо.
Мы сейчас... Нет, ты же ехал за свободой. А вот, значит, внутреннюю свободу, что ты там не ощущал? Тебя сковала только внешняя свобода. Не свобода, вернее.
Какая внутренняя свобода? Ты должен жить и дышать, обнимать своих людей. Я вот когда уезжал, я почувствовал, у меня какая-то как пуповина рвется, вот что-то такое. Я думал, ну я еду в мир, все, ну чего мне там, ну я вернусь, может не вернусь. Ну, все это легко, знаешь. И вдруг оказалось...
Другая планета.
Ну вот такое рвется, понимаешь, как что-то живое, чего-то связывает тебя там. Ты не ощущал этого ничего, жил это, как будто это каждый день. И вот когда без этого... Там, знаешь, уже не до свободы. Должна быть любовь, кровная связь со своим местом, с народом.
Вот я хотел спросить, Игорь.
Ты сейчас как пророк выступаешь.
Игорь, подожди.
Отечество предполагает наследственность.
Володя,
наследственность культуры, наследственность духовности. Это очень важно.
Ну, отечество и родина примерно одинаковые.
Нет,
государство. У нас советская родина.
Отечество это то, что ты получаешь от своих предков.
Родина у нас действительно советская.
Вот, а ведь родину можно и навязать. Немец.
Разница.
Павел I, немецкого происхождения, значит, запретил для русских понятие слова «отечество».
Снимаем сей вопрос.
У тебя может быть одно отечество, может другое.
У нас родина не русская.
Не может. Ты просто уклоняешься сейчас от этого понятия совета. А ведь оно должно прозвучать. Потому что, принимая опять родину, повторно ее принимая, ты принимаешь и ее историю.
Igor was looking for Russia, his spiritual home. His friends tell him that it is the Soviet Union to which he has come back. It is a Soviet Russia with its own history that he must now face. The symbol of the Russian Revolution, the cruiser Aurora, floats past the Winter Palace at which it fired a shot as a signal to start the uprising 70 years ago. Today, heading for its eternal anchorage, it makes a spectacle which may never be seen again. It is as though Russian history itself is coming to life before us. The revolution, giving birth to a new Russia, reduced the 1,000-year-old one to just an image. Some hope that the revolution will somehow float past, leaving their cherished image of old Russia intact. But Russia is not an icon, it is a reality. And there is hope. This century, which has brought such immeasurable sufferings to the Russian people, is now witnessing another revolution. Who would not wish it is for the best? Yet, no hope will be justified unless this new revolution exorcises the ghosts of civil war, unless Russians defeat their greatest enemy, their suspicion of each other. It will not be till then that all Russians feel at home in their homeland. When that day dawns, I too will be back.